So I want to introduce you guys to Peyton.
Up.
Oh, hi, Peyton. She's got a little boo-boo on her nose because she runs around and she is happy and healthy and very active and had a little scrape at the playground when she was running too hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're just so grateful for the support of the March of Dimes, everything this organization does, and we're really grateful for you also for participating in this great organization. Thank you. Say thank you. Are you giving him a kiss? Mwah. Give him a kiss. Mwah. Thank you. Yeah. So I want to introduce you guys to Peyton.
Up.
Oh, hi, Peyton. She's got a little boo-boo on her nose because she runs around and she is happy and healthy and very active, and had a little scrape at the playground when she was running too hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're just so grateful for the support of the March of Dimes, everything this organization does, and we're really grateful for you also for participating in this great organization. Thank you. Say thank you. Are you giving him a kiss?
Talk.
Mwah. Give him a kiss.
Mwah.
Mwah. Thank you. Yeah.
Moms, we see you.
That first year home was really rough.
If they were listening to me, it would have been caught much earlier.
We have to do better.
We shouldn't be losing moms.
We are fighting with you and fighting for you. Join the movement to ensure every mom and baby is healthy and gets the advocacy, research, and support they need.
March of Dimes is a beacon of hope to families. They know that they're not going through it alone.
Let's take action for all moms and babies. March for Babies, a mother of a movement.
Welcome to the 2021 March for Babies virtual experience celebration. Thank you for being a part of a mother of a movement. You're changing the lives of so many families, and what an impact you've made. Over the last year, 4 million babies received life-saving newborn screening. 19 million women were reached through our programs, education, and resources. More than 150 state legislative bills were passed to advocate for the health of moms and babies. And investments in critical research began uncovering the impact of COVID-19 to their health. But with so much work to be done, there's no stopping now. We must end preventable preterm birth. We must end preventable maternal health risks and death. And we must fight for health equity for all moms and families. The steps you take today will help us get there. Enjoy the celebration in your march, and together we're creating something big. March for Babies, a mother of a movement.
Hello and welcome. I'm your host today, Heather Lee. Thank you so much for being here with us at our March for Babies virtual experience. We are so grateful that you have joined the movement right here in Western Washington. Today is the day to celebrate our children and your fundraising accomplishments. And it's also the day to remember and reflect on the precious lives that we've lost and all the work that still needs to be done to make sure that every family has the best possible start. Unfortunately, the US remains among the most dangerous developed nations for childbirth, especially for women and babies of color. With preterm birth and maternal death rates continuing to rise, we need to unite, connect, and fight for all families. March for Babies, a mother of a movement, is an opportunity to make a visible difference in our community now and for generations to come. By joining this movement, you're lifting up communities for health equity, opening the door for all moms to have access to care and protecting the health of families by pushing for their rights. We are all connected by our support for March of Dimes, and we're all connected by our stories. It's my pleasure to introduce you to the Hammer family, Amanda, Simon, and Peyton.
Thank you so much for joining us today for the March of Dimes Walk for Babies walk. We're so excited that you're participating, and the March of Dimes is a super important organization for my family. So I thought I'd take a minute today and share with you our experience with the March of Dimes and with prematurity. So I had an easy and normal start to my pregnancy. At 25 weeks, we were on an overnight getaway on Whidbey Island, just me, my husband, and my dog. And I felt my face my face looked a little bit puffy. So I called my doctor just to ask if I could take a Benadryl, and she happened to ask if I was noticed any vision changes, and I hadn't. So took a Benadryl and just continued to explore the island. And we got to our hotel, and I noticed kind of like a light flashing in my eye, and I thought it probably was nothing. But then a minute later, I kind of noticed another light in the corner of my eye, and I really wouldn't have thought anything of it if my doctor hadn't just asked me if I had had vision changes when I called her earlier. So since I was kind of noticing these lights, I called her again, and she suggested I get my blood pressure taken immediately. So we headed over to the little island drugstore, and I put my arm in one of those blood pressure cuffs, and the machine started beeping and turning red, and a pharmacist had to come over because my blood pressure was dangerously high. So they sent me immediately to the local, it was a small island hospital on Whidbey Island. The doctor explained to me she was going to give me an injection of steroids to jumpstart the development of my daughter's lungs, and some medicine to try to get my blood pressure under control because it was dangerously high. She also explained to me at that time that they were going to have to get me out of this hospital because there was a chance my daughter might have to be delivered that night. And they weren't equipped to deal with a baby that small. At this point, I was only 25 weeks into my pregnancy. I didn't even know that it was possible for a baby to be born that early until she delivered that news. But they rushed me to a hospital with a level 4 NICU back to Seattle. They had to send me on a helicopter while my husband drove on the ferry with my dog. And we got to a hospital that was equipped to handle a baby of that size. So once I got there, they started to get my blood pressure under control, and they let me know that my placenta was slowly failing. I was diagnosed with severe sudden onset preeclampsia, which was something I had never heard about before I was diagnosed with it. And what that means is at any point, it is a matter of kind of a waiting game to see who will go first. Either my blood pressure will get so out of control that they can't control it with medication and they'll have to deliver the baby in order to keep me alive, or because my placenta was failing, my daughter wouldn't get enough oxygen and she would not be safe. So it was just a matter of keeping her inside of me as long as possible as it was safe, and then monitoring us both really closely to be able to get her out quickly as soon as the time arose. They let us know that every day, every hour mattered, and also that there wasn't that much we could do about it. There was a countdown, I remember, on the whiteboard next to my room with how many days I'd made it. And then at 26 weeks, 4 days, during a routine check, my nurse couldn't find my daughter's heartbeat. And I didn't think much of it because it often took a little bit to find it, but the doctor let me know. She came in and let me know we'd have to have an emergency C-section right then. So when Peyton was born, she weighed 700 grams because when a child's that small, they don't measure them in pounds, but that translates to less than 1.5 pounds. And she was 12 inches long. Her heart wasn't beating when she was born, and she wasn't breathing. She didn't have a name for the first 7 days of her life because we hadn't picked out a name yet. It was really early in my pregnancy, and it was just the second trimester, so we thought we had plenty of time. She stayed in the NICU for 88 days. It was a long 88 days where she learned to breathe on her own. She learned to regulate her own body temperature without the help of an incubator, and she learned to eat on her own. To drink milk. There were a lot of ups and downs during that time. She developed an antibiotic-resistant staph infection and retinopathy of prematurity in her eyes. And there was a lot of Googling and searching on social media to try to find other babies that were born at 26 weeks and look at what their outcomes were like. Peyton had a wonderful outcome. She's home and she's healthy and she's happy, and she's meeting all of her developmental milestones. And she's certainly our miracle, but this kind of thing doesn't happen by chance. My OBGYN knew exactly what the signs of preeclampsia were. She took me really seriously when I called her and just let her know about a puffy face, and urged me to get my blood pressure checked. And the on-call physician at that Whidbey Island hospital knew to give me steroids to jumpstart Peyton's lungs, which were critical in the future than when she was born so early that she had that start of lung development to help her along. And we had access to incredible medical care at a level 4 NICU that was fully equipped and deal with babies born that small all the time. So they had feeding specialists and neonatologists and trained nurses to help us. And this, I think the thing that I want to get across is this kind of thing doesn't happen by chance. And the March of Dimes directly supports two areas that are really close to my heart. And I think were really integral in the success of Peyton's outcome for my family. And that's scientific research and education and advocacy. So both of these things directly lead to improved outcomes for premature babies like Peyton. During COVID, especially, I think one of the really interesting things that March of Dimes has been doing is they've been getting people in healthcare desert, which is a real problem. People don't have access to hospitals with high levels of medical care. And so they are giving them blood pressure cuffs so that they can monitor their blood pressure at home in case an issue comes up and they are struggling with preeclampsia. The March of Dimes does a lot of incredible work. They help hundreds of thousands of families like us who have been personally affected by preeclampsia and by prematurity. And I truly believe that with your help today, we're getting closer to a world where no mom and dad or baby has to experience what we did. So thank you so much again for your support. It really means a lot, and enjoy the walk.
Thank you so much, Amanda and family, for sharing your story. We'd like to now take a moment to remember those we've lost. If you'd like to share the names of your loved ones and your story, please share it now in the chat. Families like the Hammers are just a small piece of the diverse stories that bring us together to march for the health of all moms and all babies today and every day. Whether you were born preterm, have experienced a devastating loss, faced serious maternal health problems or pregnancy complications, received help keeping your baby healthy, or want to see the world filled with healthy and happy birth stories, you belong here. You are why we march. We now want to recognize our sponsors and top fundraisers who have invested in our mission and are marching it forward today and every day. To each and every one of you, we are truly grateful. Thank you. Thank you to our national sponsors, HCA Healthcare, Reckitt Benckiser Group. And thank you to our local sponsors, KeyBank, UW Medicine, Swedish Medical Center, CHI Franciscan, Seattle Children's Hospital, Multicare Health System, Les Schwab, Howard S. Wright, the Everett Clinic, Providence Regional Medical Center, Everett. Thank you to all our top fundraisers in our amazing circle of champions. These incredible individuals all raised $1,000 or more towards the fight for moms and babies. Thank you to all our corporate, school, and organization teams. Thank you to our top family teams. Your commitment to the mission is truly inspiring. Congratulations to our top teams, and thank you for joining us today. Now, before we go out and march where we are and in our own way, a couple reminders. You can scroll down and visit our Remembrance, Mission, Advocacy, and Sponsor tents. Our virtual experience site and tent will also be accessible until October 31st from the event website if you would like to visit it again at a later date. We may be nearing the end of our virtual experience, but our march is just beginning. We're on our way towards meeting our goal of $444,000. Now, we're still going strong, but there's more work to do. Everyone can continue fundraising through June 30th to help with the fight for moms and babies. All funds raised through June 30th will also count towards the Recognition and Loyalty Program. And I hope you will, because your donations can do so much for families, such as shower a mom in need with essential baby items and celebrate her and her family. Fund the virtualization of our critical programs and events to protect moms and babies. and provide quality healthcare services to 2,000 underinsured and uninsured women through our mobile health units. March for Babies is about so much more than just today. It's a mother of a movement, transforming the health and lives of all moms, babies, and families. And it would not be possible without each of you. Now it's time to mask up and march your way down your street, around your block, in your backyard, wherever you are. Be sure to tune in to the March of Dimes Seattle page later today for the winner of the Les Schwab giveaway. And don't forget to post your pictures and use hashtag March for Babies, hashtag Western Washington MFB. Are you ready? Let's count it down together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.